Here we go.
Welcome back to another episode, guys, of the SVT Sports Podcast. Sam got his button here about like 45 seconds ago, so I think he's ready. If he's not, he doesn't really have a choice. So, how
Yeah.
are you doing, Sam?
I'm always ready.
Vince, how
If
you
you
doing?
if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready.
There you go. There you go. Guys, nobody has talked about who was going to host, so I just decided, what the hell? I'm just going to go for it because stay ready, be ready. So, we have a lot to cover, and in fact, I'm going to hand the reins over to Vince because I feel like he's going to have a good little minute here to talk about what he's going through emotionally and
Okay.
news wise. So, Vince,
All
all
right.
you.
It's the Brandon Ayuk update. He's officially requested a trade. He's entering the final year of his rookie contract, and he's going to earn 14.1 million this year. Not bad, but he wants to get paid more, obviously. Contract talks have been stalled since May, and the 49ers have said that they have no intention of trading him, and they have even rebuffed other teams already, including the Patriots. So, Brandon Ayuk is not going to be at training camp, at least not in the foreseeable future. The timeline's a little bit later than the whole Debo situation a couple years ago. Because by June, like Debo was hanging out with the team and was like, off to the side at training camp playing catch or whatever. Brandon Ayuk's not doing that. Like he's not happy at all. And I guess my feelings are he's not going to go anywhere. If the team's not going to trade him, they're not going to trade him, right? At least that's what they're saying right now. It could just be a, playing hardball stance to try to drive up the trade value, make it worth another team's while to go get him. And yeah, we knew that there was going to be movement on this at some point. They had that little unofficial meeting, but nothing really came out of it a couple weeks ago, maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago now at this point. But yeah, this is just overall, I'm not thrilled to see it, especially because the first round rookie wide receiver Ricky Pearsall, who they drafted in case the situation developed, he's on the non-football injury list to start training camp. He can come off of that list at any point, but I don't know what happened there. So he's not going to be an active participant in the rookie camp happening right now. So yeah, this is actually like mildly concerning, I guess. I really need them to figure this out soon. They need to figure it out soon in order to, just have everything settled. If they're not going to trade him and he's not going to play, then I don't know what happens here. I don't know where you go from here, man. This is Brandon Ayuk's basically treating this as if it's a franchise tag, but it's not. He's actually like under his rookie contract still. So
I
that's
would
the
look
weird part.
I would look at it like this. Scary Terry would look really good in a 49ers uniform because Ayuk really wants to go to the Commanders. And I know the 49ers have said no trade. We're not trading him. We're not going to move on from him. But if Terry wants to come over here in that trade deal,
Terry McLaurin can get the hell out of Washington. Are you kidding me?
I wouldn't say no to that.
Yeah, that's the kind of move that I think I would be willing to entertain for sure. He's underperformed a little bit, but he has had flashes, here and there. But just overall, it would have to be Terry and something else too, in order to make it worth it, in my opinion. Because, like I said, Ayuk has actually been like really good for the last 2 years, whereas the value for Terry McLaurin is not as high. It's just not. And so yeah, to make that work, you're gonna have to throw in probably a second as well.
You
Maybe
think a second?
I think so.
I don't know because
Maybe a third.
because once Ayuk goes to, hypothetically speaking, once Ayuk goes to Washington, they got to pay him. So,
Right.
maybe I'm not giving up a second because he's not under contract fully yet, right? Maybe I give up a fourth along with it. Maybe
I don't know what they'll have to do to make it work. But it's going to take more than Terry McLaurin. That's what I'm saying. It's going to take more than that. It's a interesting thing. It's an interesting thought. And Terry is capable of taking over if Debo gets hurt as the number one type guy. But that being said, it's as far as we know, what we have in front of us right now, it's just a stalemate. Ayuk's not going anywhere, and he's also, and that includes training camp. He's not going to training camp, and he's not going to another team. So, it sucks. We're kind of just hanging here in no man's land, man. It's a little frustrating. I want this solved. Get it together, guys. Just fucking figure it out.
Hey man, you got Yak Harlow though, so you can't.
Yeah. No, we don't. He's injured right now.
That's okay. That's fair.
Yeah. He's on the non-football injury list. It's an excellent nickname, by the way.
I'm all for players, getting their money. I think we've all been pretty pro play. I think though, this takes a little bit of self-awareness from Brandon Ayuk, in the sense of, all right, you want 26, 27 million. The 49ers are maybe, I don't know what they're offering, but let's say it's 23, 20, 22. To get 22 million on a franchise, on a team that looks like it's going to be contending for a Super Bowl for the next year to 2 years or 3 years, whatever it may be. The Super Bowl window is open now. How many players, how many teammates that he has that are putting their personal gripes aside, could get money elsewhere to win, to be on a Super Bowl winning team.
I mean, Kyle Juszczyk was not thrilled that he took the pay cut, but he was not thrilled about it by any means. But yeah,
and he was quoted as, I'm the best fullback in the league.
And he is.
Took a pay cut,
so no one would argue that.
So for me, I put myself in those shoes, and you're talking generational wealth of whether you're getting paid 20 million or 26 million. I know 6 million is a lot of money, but when you're making 20 million or 26 million, I mean, it's fantasy. And I think I would care about what my teammates think of me and how they see me. And I think right now he's putting himself before the team. And I find it kind of sad, that he's willing to sacrifice his 49er career for a couple $1 million. I don't think the 49ers are offering 15 and he wants 26. That's hard for me to believe, where he's already making 15 this year. So
right, yeah.
I don't think they're really all that far off. At the same time, I don't really see him as like a number one wide receiver. There's probably about 4 or 5 wide receivers off the top of my head that would probably go ahead of him, just without even looking at numbers.
Right.
So maybe he's a top 10, top 12, but to just turn your back on the franchise and your teammates when your Super Bowl window is open, I guess winning Super Bowls isn't important to him, because you're going to make more money being a Super Bowl champion and a Pro Bowler. As a 49er, go make your money on a team that's not very good right now. You get paid number one wide receiver money, but your team is going nowhere. You know? Good luck with that.
Yeah, I just doesn't want to play in January. That's what it comes down to. So, hey, if he wants to go to Washington, because that's obviously his number one destination, by all means, man. I know the 49ers are, this is kind of a shock moment, but let's just have Washington throw out offers and be like, I don't want one. Give me a handful. Give me 3 or 4 I can work with, and let's see one of them speaks to me, So if I were the 49ers, I'd make that phone call.
No, I don't think the Niners are going to make that call, though. I really don't. I think they're just going to.
I don't see the 49ers making a trade based on principle.
Yeah.
Just now it's scruples.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, they're playing hardball now.
Yeah.
Going forward. So we'll see how this shakes out going forward. In the meantime, we're just sitting here twiddling our thumbs, hoping to hear some news, good or bad. Yeah. So there's your football update. I think. Other than that, anything for football? No.
Hurry up and get here.
Yeah, preseason's around the corner. Just a couple weeks away, starting in August. So, So yeah, then there's that, and then we have fantasy football, and I get to go for the three-peat. I can be champ.
Hey man, I get an extra $5 this time, okay?
Yeah, we'll see. No, it's that's a discussion for another thing. You got to keep that name, bud. Anyway, okay, so let's move on to basketball. We didn't really have anything major happen yet. We're still kind of waiting on the Lauri Markkanen news for as far as free agency goes.
An update on that though.
Uh-huh.
Apparently it's been leaked, discussed, whatever you want to go with, that Danny Ainge has actually reached out to try and get Kuminga, Pods, Moody, and first round draft picks. And if that's the case, he can literally go fuck himself to the universe. That's not happening.
No. That's too rich. Yeah.
So that's the most recent update I've heard. So
yeah, I can't see it happening with that.
Not for all three of those guys. Yeah.
Because then you got who's coming off the bench?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I do think that Pods, Moody, and maybe a draft pick is something that's entertained a little bit more, unfortunately, as much as I love Pods and I love Moody. And we've all said that Moody needs to get more play time, and deservedly so. But losing Pods would be rough too. So hopefully that's not the case. I think I'd rather not lose Pods, but if it means getting Curry one more chance at it, a crack at it, I guess I'll welcome it.
Yeah, totally. All right, go ahead, Tim. Let's put the next image up. Well, let's talk some United States basketball showcase in Los Angeles. These just happened. These games just happened. The second one was yesterday.
So
on the 10th.
The second one was in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, it was in Saudi Arabia. Sorry.
But yes.
Yeah. Okay, so July 10th was in Vegas against Canada. Stupid neighbors dropping something. Anyway,
was that a Canadian dig? Was that a Canadian dig?
I don't know.
Stupid neighbors above me.
Yeah, apparently they were dropping something. They heard me say Canada, and they're like, "Hey, keep it down there, eh?" Yeah. So they get the W. It's 86-72 versus Canada. Dylan Brooks is crying, I'm sure. And then they get the win against Australia in Saudi Arabia, 98-92. That was a squeaker. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, man. Talk about all I could think about while I was watching both games, and specifically more Australia's than Canada's, was, God, does Steve Kerr's offense ever not have a gazillion turnovers? Jesus Christ. I mean, the Australian game had like almost 20 turnovers. What are we doing, guys? That game was in hand. At halftime, we were up by like almost 20 points, and we almost blew that game. So, I will give Steve Kerr some credit. He didn't really call a timeout. He didn't panic. He got the best players in the world. Let them figure this out. And they did. They figured it out, and were they able to hold off Australia. Australia's is going to be a tough out. They're in the pool of death. They play Australia is going to play Serbia, which has got Jokic, which is who Team USA will see next. And they've also got Canada in that pool as well too. So unfun pool, but Australia is going to be a tough out, and they play hard all the way to the very end there. So I do want to give them some credit. They did play in Australia. They did play Serbia today, and they beat Serbia. So I think Jokic is going to come with a little bit more of a focused energy to play Team USA tomorrow, which is what they will be doing at 9 a.m. And then the last showcase before we move on to, I think we play one more place, and then we go to the Olympics, which is against Germany. But this Saturday, USA will be playing South Sudan, who is also in their bracket pool. So it should be fun. I really hope that we play a little bit better defense in the paint there, because Jokic is licking his chops. We gave up 60 points in the paint against Australia. Their biggest guy was nowhere near as big as Embiid, so there was no reason for her to give up that many points. But we're here now for that. So I don't know if you guys caught the game or anything. It was like a random Monday 9 a.m. I just happened to be off that day. So
no, I was working. So
yeah.
Yeah. As far as team lineup news, this is old news at this point, but we should say it anyway. Kawhi Leonard is out for the Olympics. He's citing chronic knee soreness and inflammation. The replacement is surprisingly Derek White instead of Jaylen Brown, who of course was less than impressed by that call up.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown has tweeted out to Nike and said, "Oh, is this what we're doing now?" Which is funny because Derek White is also sponsored by Nike and also their teammates. So that's going to be awkward. I did hear that there's a possibility that Kevin Durant may not be able to go either. He is also citing some knee soreness and a foot injury. So if he can't go, Jaylen Brown is supposedly the next available player. So who knows? Maybe he got his way into playing for Team USA. Maybe he doesn't. We'll find out in the next couple weeks here. So
yeah. All right. So things to keep an eye on, to be sure. All right. So all right, Tim. We're gonna move on to hockey. I think it's time to talk about some exciting news for the Sharks. They were able to paper for their 11th overall pick, Sam Dickinson. He signed his entry level contract.
Dickinson.
Yep. And so this is great news. I actually was reading an article on The Athletic earlier today, and they were talking about the top 100 draft prospects, and the Sharks in their top 100, they actually have 6 in the top 100. Let me pull them. I actually have this handy right here. So you're looking at obviously Macklin Celebrini is prospect number 1. Will Smith is rated 8. Sam Dickinson is 11. Quentin Musty is 55. Shakir McMadolan is 82, and Philip Bystedt is 87. And then you had about 4 other guys that were just outside of the top 100 as well that got honorable mention in the main verbiage of the article. So the Sharks really did, like we've talked about it before, they really did a number building up the talent pool in the minors, and as soon as these guys are ready to roll, this could be a lot of fun. That being said, this year is probably the year to jump on if you're, I don't want to call it the bandwagon because they're probably not going to be good this year. But you're getting in at the right time at the ground level is what it is.
You got to get on the boat. We got a bigger boat.
That's right.
What was it? What's his name? The YouTube guy, the hockey Jersey guy, Jersey hockey guy.
Oh, it's the hockey guy. His name is Shannon.
Okay.
Yeah.
He predicted 35-40 wins for this team.
Yeah. About 35, I think, is fair. They were 20 wins, right, last year. So
I mean, yeah, you can't get any worse than last year.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably still out of the playoffs as it stands right now, unless a lot of things break their way. Basically, everything has to break their way for that to happen. That being said, I really like where this is headed right now. Just like everything's coming together, and it'll be real fun to watch going forward. Probably next season. This season is the time to come in. If you're new to hockey, this is where you learn. Nobody's there to like judge you or anything right now. You can grab your buddy who happens to know hockey. They're happy to teach you anything and everything, any and all questions. Yeah, this is the moment, man. This is great.
Yeah, they I mean, hockey guy broke it down. Their attendance levels went down a little bit, not a whole lot, but it went down a little bit. So I imagine that this is going to be quite the opposite. I think a number 1 overall pick in Celebrini is going to fill some seats. So plan accordingly. Don't try and buy a ticket the day before. Maybe plan a week ahead, because I promise you, everyone's going to want to see this kid, and he will most likely be a second liner, and who knows, he may end up as a first liner towards the end of the season. But
I already got my tickets for the Jumbo retirement game, so that's exciting. Those were not cheap. That game specifically was not cheap, but like any other Sharks game, pretty much is going to be getting in at the ground level. This is like the cheapest it's going to be also for a while too. So now's the time. Get on board. Let's have some fun. And then in a couple of years, really, they're going to be making a lot of noise, I think. So,
Sam, are you getting a jersey?
Hell yeah.
All right.
I am too. I want the black version of Celebrini's jersey. Right
Right.
now, they currently only have the teal one, but nothing wrong with the teal one. I just
Mhm.
Yeah,
Preference.
the black one's
Oh, it's so
the
sick.
shit.
It's so sick. Fuego. Yeah. So just other breaking Sharks news. Joe Pavelski officially made it a career today. 963 games in Team Teal, 369 games for Dallas. That's a little symmetry right there. 963, 369. So stick taps for the captain. Hell of a career, and we'll see you at the tank sometime, bud. You know.
yeah, man.
Uh,
Do you think he goes into some kind of role of management? Not necessarily a coach, but maybe he works in the front office of something.
Yeah, Pavelski strikes me as a lifer. He'll be around the game in some form or fashion. I don't know how or when exactly. I'll tell you what. A lot of these players, former Sharks players, they find their way back here, man.
Yeah,
Ryan Claude just got hired as the assistant GM.
Yeah.
That was a dude. He was, power forward. The kind of guy who can get a Gordie Howe hat trick. So
yeah, like any given night.
any given night. So yeah, that's just one of many guys. Joe Thornton is hanging around the tank a lot. He's the director of vibes. Is the joke
Director of vibes.
That's what Mike Greer called him. Is the or vice president of vibes or something like that. Director of vibes. So yeah, they're having fun. They're putting in the work. It's going to be a lot of fun at the tank this year. Even if they don't win as many games as you would like, they're still going to be better than last year. And who knows? Like they're going to be a tough out. I think like it's going to be a tough night, week in, week out. I don't see many 10-1 drubbings like we got this past season. I don't think that's in the cards going forward for this team. So they're doing it the right way, and they're going to be making a lot of noise in the future very soon, though.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm stoked, man. I'm so excited to, especially, I know we got some baseball stuff to talk about, but especially like I have not watched any fucking baseball, and now I'm just completely on to the excitement of hockey, NBA off season, NFL's around the corner. I don't know if I think I said this last week. I'm just going to be hunting all the Celebrini rookie cards. So,
yeah.
Later, baseball.
Ripping packs, baby. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, later, baseball. I got other addictions, so.
Right on. Okay, so the title of this episode is So Much Soccer, and now it's time to talk about so much soccer. Okay, so start with Wrexham because the West Coast tour is coming. It starts this week. They're playing Saturday at Santa Barbara against Bournemouth. So another English side that bounces between Premier League and Championship League. I think they're still up at the Premier this year.
Yeah, they're in the Prem this year, but I think they were middle of the road in the
about 12th or so, something like that. It felt, basically, if you're not in the top 8, like really top 6, nobody cares. But like all the top teams are in the top 8 or so of the Premiership, and then the bottom 12 or so, depending on the season, could find themselves in danger of getting demoted.
I think
fun.
that's going to be, out of these matches, I think that's going to be probably the one if you're a big Wrexham fan. I think Wrexham is going to play all their players and give it everything they got, and Bournemouth will do the same thing. The next few matches, though, go ahead with the other ones. I don't think that they're going to.
So next week, they're going to be playing Chelsea, and that's going to be local to the Bay Area at Levi's Stadium. And Chelsea's not going to be suiting up their ones for that one. No way. Yeah. Absolutely not. So that'll be just a fun little scrimmage, I guess. And then Saturday versus Vancouver Whitecaps up in Vancouver, the 27th. Excuse me. So that'll be up there, and they'll. I think Vancouver actually is probably going to be a pretty good measuring stick. I think I haven't checked where Vancouver is in in the standings for MLS, but they're they're an MLS side, and I would have to think that they're going to be playing most of their regulars. I would think if they're not preoccupied with. I just checked their 6th in the Western Conference, so they're solidly in a playoff spot. I would think that they're going to play more of their regulars than not. I would think so. That would be a pretty good measuring stick for a 3rd-tier British side versus a top-tier American side. That'll be pretty close, I think. I think that's a sneaky one. They could
It's
probably
also
get
like a homecoming match for Ryan Reynolds as well too. So
right.
It's pretty much a parade for what he has put his money towards to show his countrymen.
Right.
Yeah, I think Vancouver Whitecaps is probably going to play hard just because how often you get to play against English Premier League teams, or at least English football clubs. So I think that's going to happen. I think Bournemouth is going to be a good test for Wrexham because they're trying to see what they measure against a championship team. And also too, it's a good measurement too, because I think in the first draw, Wrexham is going to be playing in the cup here. I want to say they're playing. Oh my God, they got exited out by them last time too.
Oh, in the FA Cup?
Yeah, they're playing another championship team.
Yeah, you'll have to look that up.
So, but anyways, I think it's a good measuring stick just to be like, hey, like, we lost to a championship team, a year ago. How do we look a year from now against another championship team? So, at least that's my theory.
All right, so Tim, let's move on to the local side for the, and they just did not get the job done again. Surprisingly, I know. They lose 2-1 versus Sporting Kansas City. They're currently 4 wins, 2 draws, and 17 losses.
Are they in last place?
Without even looking,
are they in last?
Dead fucking last.
What a shocker!
Yeah, I know, right? So, you know what though? It's let's see. Points. Oh yeah. Okay, so St. Louis is in 13th place. They're 8 points clear of San Jose. And then if you just want to go over to the Eastern Conference, Philadelphia Philadelphia Union. Excuse me. I went with the AFL team there for a second. Oops. The Philadelphia Union have 21 points, so they're 7 points clear of San Jose. So not only is San Jose dead last, they're 3 games out of like catching second to last. Man, this is an embarrassment. You could actually hear the fans chanting "fuck John Fisher" echoing through the stadium late in the game by the ultras. So they're getting louder, man, and it's easy for that to echo because that stadium is not filled. Not a lot of bodies to deaden the sound, man. That thing just bounces, and it is. It's so frustrating that this man is allowed to own teams, man.
That's because the audio is bouncing off all the empty seats.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why it can reverberate. It's not just hitting, clothes and deadening. So I screwed that up and didn't put the next game that they're playing.
Does it matter? They're probably going to take an L.
They're going to take an L. I'm looking it up right now. They're playing Houston.
How many games do we have left?
So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 11 games left. So this week they actually have 2 games. They have Houston on Wednesday, and then Saturday they're playing at Minnesota.
That's also an L.
Yeah, man. So, and then after that, I believe they have the Leagues Cup with Mexico, and so that'll be a big break until the toward the end of August.
Okay.
So yeah, you're gonna you got one more week of us bitching about John Fisher for the soccer side, and then we get to shut up for about a month or so. Yeah, so let's move on to Bay FC. And as a reminder, they're done. Their season is on hiatus right now, regular season, but they are playing in the Summer Cup, which is with the Women's League in Mexico. and they were
Okay.
put in a group with Angel City FC, San Diego Wave, and Club America from Mexico. So, so there's your schedule. They got these 3 games, and then the winner of the winner of this group gets to go on to the playoffs, and nobody else. So if you don't win all 3, you're basically done. You could get away with a draw and winning the other 2, but then it goes down to goal differential maybe, and it's a mess. Anyway, so just one other note that I don't have in here for Bay FC is they traded Scarlett Camberos to Club America. Actually, it's the team she was playing on a couple years ago, but there was actually this really scary incident with like a stalker, and the police didn't really do anything at the time. And so she ended up requesting a trade. She ended up at Angel City, and then through the expansion process, that's how she found her way traded to Bay FC. So that's how she ended up here. But it sounds like she feels more comfortable being back down there with a club that she was actually a captain for. So they made it work, and they were able to send her back to a place that she felt really comfortable and loved being at outside of that, the one thing. So good on her, and we all wish her the best, and we have nothing but good things to say about her. She played well. She got the game-winning goal actually against San Diego Wave at the game that I was at on May 17th. So, yeah, so a little bit of a sad situation there, but yeah. So best of luck to her. Um, so let's move on to the U.S. soccer news and notes. Tim, let's move on. And we're gonna talk first up. Greg Berhalter, he's gone. He gone. Uh, we've been saying it's been time basically since the World Cup. They brought him back for some reason after 6 months of not having him back. They decided to bring him back after that, and it just has not worked out. He after getting that early bounce out of Copa this year, he had to go, and I'm glad that he's gone. People were already talking about big game hunting, trying to find the biggest name to replace him, and I don't know who that ends up being. Like Jurgen Klopp already said, no, I meant it when I said I'm taking a break. Um, so it's not going to be Jurgen Klopp. We know that it's not going to be Pep Guardiola. Okay, we know that. Let's set our expectations a little bit lower. We're not
Jim Curtin.
Fucking hell. I don't want it to be another MLS coach. I need it to be somebody bigger than that, Go steal somebody that's about to get demoted from the championship, throw them in England. Somebody, I don't know, man. It's too much, man. This is I can't do another MLS coach. They're just, when the lights are brightest, they're not good enough. It's not good enough, and they don't get the job done. So
Phil Parkinson.
Parky's not doing it. He's staying put, man. Yeah. So, other news: U.S. Women's National Team announced that Katarina Macario is out for the Olympics due to knee soreness. So Lynn Williams is replacing her, and defender Emily Sams is going to head to Paris as an alternate since Lynn was called up to the main team. They are playing 2 World Cup Olympic send-off games. Excuse me, not World Cup. They're playing Olympic send-off games. They get the win against Mexico 1-0 on Saturday, and that honored the 99 World Cup team. And so all of Mia Hamm and Julie Foudy and Brianna Scurry and all of them, they were there. And the other game that's happening right now, actually, as we speak, is they're playing Costa Rica. And that game is scoreless right now. The team has been playing with the ball on their end the entire match, basically. Just a couple of fun notes about this. The U.S. Women's National Team has won all 17 prior meetings by a combined score of 90-2. And this is also Captain Lindsey Horan's 150th career game. And it's also Emma Hayes' 4th game with the team after coaching Chelsea on the women's side forever. Every other U.S. Women's National Team head coach has had at least 16 games before a major tournament. So she's really trying to squeeze it all in, get as many combinations and stuff happening as much as possible. And yeah, 66 minutes still scoreless, but still attacking. So they just need to start finding the final touch, man. Like, I don't know what it is, just the final, put it in the net. They got the players to do it, so I just don't. They just need to do it now at this point. So, as far as the Olympics go, their schedule is Zambia on the 25th, Germany on the 28th, and Australia on the 31st. And after that, that's when the playoff bracket will start from there.
Okay.
So there we go. I think. Do you have any other notes and stuff?
I got a fun little game if we can squeeze it in at the end here, but we could do this at the very end here because it combines soccer and baseball. So
all right,
let's do this at the end here.
Sounds good. So all right, let's talk now just about the big championships that were happening. Go ahead and move to the next image, Tim. So we have Pro and Common Ball Copa America. So for the Copa America game, the Argentina wins 1-0 against Colombia, and the big news out of that game was Messi injured his leg. He's out indefinitely. It's a ligament in his right ankle, and that fucker was puffed up as big as a bowling ball, man. That, like, did you see some of those shots, man? Of it?
Inter Miami is. I could say that their whole season just took a whole entire 180 turn on them.
Right. So I mean, let's see. Inter Miami, they're like I just had it up. Their standings, they're at the top of the East, I believe. No, I take that back. They're in second. So they're right there with Cincinnati, like only a point back. So this is huge for them. They're obviously without Leo Messi there, scoring goals at will. Essentially, that's going to be a huge loss for them. We'll see if they can keep pace with Cincinnati while he heals up. So there's that. And then in Euro 2024, Spain gets the win over England. That's their fourth European championship. That's number one all time. 3 of those championships have come in the last 20 years, including this year. So they're really turning it on as of late. To say the least. All 3 of those goals were scored in the second half, and Spain actually went undefeated and outscored all the other teams 15-4 over the entire tournament. So Spain really was just the top team through the entire way, man. So and then England fired Gareth Southgate, their manager, or at least he resigned on Tuesday after losing in the final.
He did what Berhalter should have done.
Exactly. Respect to that, man. And I don't think Southgate is going to be the answer. Let me just throw that out there. I don't think he's the one.
I don't even think he'd want to come coach.
I don't think he would want to coach, but I don't think he's the one, guys. Let's not do that. Let's not. He's walking away for a reason. He's basically England's version of Greg Berhalter, I think. Underachieving in their opinions.
Got the 3 Lions competitive, and I would say the last World Cup and this one, they were a lot more competitive.
The last Euro and then this Euro and then the World Cup, they were a lot better, I think. But also, is that the players figuring it out in spite of him, or is it his
philosophy and
his philosophy and everything? Yeah. So that's kind of the discussion that is happening on the internet, which of course has nothing but sane and rational discussions at all times, every time. Like there's
always rational.
It's very calm. Nothing bad ever is said or happens on the internet at all.
Nothing. What time?
Okay. So that is your soccer news.
What time is it?
It is fuck John Fisher. It's also 70 minutes into this game. It's still 0-0 for the U.S. But okay, so I mentioned it before. I am going to the A's game this coming Friday, and it's only because my grandma wants to go. So I'm not wearing any A's stuff when I go. We already discussed all of the reasons why not. But let's put Vince Cotroneo up. Actually, Tim, let's do that. This is actually going to be his season calling baseball games on the radio for the A's. His contract wasn't picked up apparently, which is weird. I would think that they would want to have a guy that good stick around with the team through some of its darker times. But he did release a statement. I'm not going to read the whole thing. but basically he doesn't think this is the end, but if it is the end, he's satisfied and he's fine with it. He's been calling baseball games at the major league level for 32 seasons. Yeah, he did a hell of a job picking up the after the death of King, of Bill King. So and I mean that's the guy that's been on the call since 2005. So when the A's went to the ALCS in 2006, he's he's one of the guys on the radio along with Ken Korak.
Yeah.
He's and every like all these walk-offs in 2012 that happened, he was on a lot of those calls and he did a hell of a job stepping into what is a very difficult situation when a team loses a beloved broadcaster like that. So stick taps for that man too, a hell of a career. And if he's done, he's happy, but I hope he's not done. I hope another team seizes on this opportunity to pick him up, because I think he's got enough in the tank to keep going for a little while longer still.
Absolutely.
Would he even want to leave the Bay Area? I mean, he can't. Let's just say the Giants are not calling because they're pretty locked in with their radio play-by-play and TV.
I mean, unless John Miller, God forbid, something happens to him, if he wants to just step away. But
he's the longest standing radio play-by-play in all of baseball.
Oh yeah.
So that could happen. It's a possibility.
I mean, it's a possibility, but I mean, even so, there's 30 of these. There's 30 teams. You figure 60 of these total jobs, and he's held one down for 32 of the last 35 years.
Yeah,
and deservedly so. And I hope he sticks the landing somewhere, because I don't think it should be done like this, wasting away.
He's very classy about how he said it. He never once mentioned that they didn't even want to pay him anymore. Like, he was fully intent to go to Sacramento, and he was ready. He was prepared to do it. And typical A's ownership said thanks, but no thanks, without even really giving the opportunity to talk to him about it.
I know. This is it's just
the A's want nobody really affiliated with the Oakland scene.
Yeah,
like they don't want nothing affiliated with it. Yeah. So to say that they're honoring the Bay Area on Sundays and blah blah blah, it's the shittiest gestures they have made in all of the time that John Fisher and Dave Kaval have been a part of, is a backhanded compliment.
It's not just horse shit, it is the horsest of shits. Speaking of horse shit, Wander Franco is done, man. He's officially been charged in the Dominican Republic for sexual and commercial exploitation of a minor. And he gone.
He's done. I mean,
he's fucking done. Like that's fucking gross. Get the hell out of here. And apparently the girl's mom, like, it might be charged too or something. Like, it's a little bit convoluted and crazy, but fuck them, So I don't think we need to say anything else besides that.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah. How does he think he could get away with something like that too? Like, I don't understand.
Because he's nuts.
He's fucking psycho. Okay. Let's move on to other terrible owners, actually. So the Modesto Nuts. Let's talk. Seattle Mariners owner John Stanton wanted Modesto to pay $32 million, I think, for renovations. You have 30 in here. It's somewhere between 30 and 32, I'm sure. MLB had implemented standards for players, but not for the fans, to like create a new field, dugout, locker room standards. But they want the fans to pay for it, basically, is what's happening here, right? This is just another shit.
Yeah, so a few years ago, MLB, I don't know if you guys remember this, MLB took control. They started to get rid of certain minor league teams. They started to consolidate teams.
Right.
So a lot of teams went away, and basically they created new standards for minor league stadiums, that any future minor league stadiums need to have these amenities and improvements by a certain year. And pretty much baseball fans thought this was a good idea.
Mhm.
And then come to find out that it's a MLB announces these new, then comes to the city and say, for us to honor these rules, you need to pay X amount of dollars. So the Seattle Mariners owner, John Stanton, he owns the Modesto Nuts, and he wanted $32 million or so to improve the minor league stadium. And the city said, nah. I mean, really, do you think Modesto has $32 million to fund a minor league baseball team? Like,
No.
what the fuck are you even asking for? Like, this is a single A city, and you're asking them for $32 million. Who the hell do you think you are? This needs much more than your minor league baseball stadium. Also, it's just really sad that they're gonna Siri got mad at me. It's just really sad that Modesto is losing something. I'm pretty sure a minor league team would come back, but it's going to take some time. It's going to take years. It's going to take an owner that actually wants to improve the facilities. It's just really sad. And we've said it before. There are more owners in MLB that are like John Fisher than there are owners that are, say, like the Joe Lacobs of the world. Walter Johnson of the Giants is starting to reveal who he is.
Mhm.
He's starting to show on his baseball team, so I think John Fisher, the A's is kind of like a watershed moment. I think we've always known that owners are kind of shitty people, but now it's just, now you want $30 million handouts for a minor league team?
Mhm.
Crazy. It's
nuts.
And not Modesto nuts.
I just looked it up. Modesto's actually, like, in terms of population, a little bit bigger than I thought it was.
It's grown.
It's grown a lot over the last few years. Like, it's
Well,
218,000 people according to the last census. So
Well, that's what happens when the Silicon Valley boom and nobody can afford shit over here. So
Right,
you
so
end
they
up having to move out somewhere a little
Right,
out that way.
and you suffer a 2-hour commute.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of they're growing, cities of any size should not be paying 30 million, 40 million, 100 million dollars for a stadium. This is, you're $1 billion organization, you pay for it, because you know what? How many, let's really crunch the numbers. How many jobs does a baseball stadium bring? Let's be honest. It's seasonal work. So why am I going to give you $100 for a stadium in Oakland or Las Vegas or wherever it may be? That's seasonal work. Where if Apple says, I want to set up my new HQ in Oakland, how many jobs does that set up? Permanent jobs.
Yeah.
So get the hell out of here with work this stadium and everything is going to, now we got to pay for the construction, give you a tax break, and then we're making money by everything that goes around it that you don't own. Like, it's nonsense.
Yeah.
The reason why the San Francisco ballpark worked so well, because the Giants weren't on the San Francisco city wasn't on the hook for anything. The Giants financed it. They took care of it. That was a good deal.
And that's exactly, I mean, that's
why all the data doesn't show the Giant stadium, because MLB does not want their owners to finance it. They're more like John Fisher's.
Yeah, the old regime for the Giants, that's who Joe Lacob called, and they told him how they did it. And look, they're both not going to bed at night being like, "Oh man, I'm poor." No, they're going to bed super wealthy. And to your point, not everyone could be the Joe Lacobs or the old regime, the Bears of the Giants, So
I got one more baseball thing. Did you guys see this national anthem? This girl, this young lady, Ingrid Andress.
Yes.
So
Ingrid.
it it was awful, right? Not a very good presentation.
Yeah.
She has checked herself into rehab and claimed she was drunk.
I
She
would
was
believe it.
hammer drunk.
I would believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Watching
tracks.
video.
Yeah.
So
And she's got a record career to a recording career to save. So check herself into rehab. Gonna hang out there for a couple weeks, have some fun, and then then she'll probably go on to do whatever she does. I'm not familiar with her work, so
Neither am I.
all right. So before do you have anything about the Olympics other than it just being July 26th to the
Yeah,
August
no,
11th?
this was just a placeholder. Olympics are coming. We're about 10 days away. So, and actually, it's kind of funny. I think basketball and soccer both start before the Olympics officially start. So that's just kind of a fun fact, I guess, because they got to squeeze in a whole ass tournament in like 2.5 weeks. So
I did like that when I watched some video about the breakdown of where all the games and whatnot are going to be held. The surfing competition was pretty cool. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but it's not actually in France. It's not going to be anywhere near there. It's actually going to be in Tahiti, which is a province of France. So,
oh well, yeah.
So they're going to hold a surfing tournament over there, which I thought was pretty cool. The one place where maybe the water won't kill the patron or the
Participants, the athletes.
The participants, yeah.
Oh God, the sand.
Well, actually, it could. I don't know. Who knows? Sharks might be out there, so who knows?
Yeah, but I mean, it's not going to be. They're not getting the
E. coli.
Yeah, the E. coli. I was looking for a word prettier than diarrhea there. But
all right, so
yeah.
we got a little bit of time here. Sam, I know you got one more thing here at the end here, but I just want to play a quick game. U.S. soccer, once it was kind of announced that Berhalter was out, previous to that, fans like us were raving and complaining about the situation that is the U.S. men's national team. And the New York Yankees fans are very similar because they always think doom and gloom and that their team should be number one. They're currently second right now in the East, so it's not that terrible. But their fans always complain because they're not the number one team of everything. So,
right. Okay.
There's a fun little game that came up that I wanted to say for the show. And basically, it is a title of each Reddit post. And we have to figure out if it was posted on U.S. Soccer's page or the New York Yankees page.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. Soccer or Yankees. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
How many of these do you got?
I think there's like 15 questions, so not too much on here. So
Okay.
we'll knock them out as fast as we can.
All right. Let's rip through them.
All right. So here's the first one. Literally every single thing about this team that was great / fun / worth watching, etc. for the last 2 months has vanished. They're playing like absolute dog shit, top to bottom. Can't point the fingers at anyone specific anymore. It feels like everyone, or ever since the entire bottom has fallen out. Is that Yankees or soccer? I think it's Yankees.
I think it's Yankees.
Me too. All right, next. Instead of watching...
Wait, you're not going to tell us right now?
No, I can't. I literally cannot. I have to submit it, and I'll give you all the answers real quick. So
okay, all right.
Instead of watching tonight's game, I think I'm just gonna watch some reruns of She-Hulk.
Soccer.
I think so too. All right. The hate against the manager is 100% deserved. The guy doesn't know how to lead. When things are good, he's fine, but when things are bad, they go into free fall. No urgency to a pit stop to the losing. Why not suggest a tactical change? Because manager is asleep at the wheel. Fire the manager. U.S. Soccer, right?
I'm gonna go soccer. When you said tactical change, that's
me too.
Yep.
I was leaning Yankees until you said that. So.
Agreed.
Yep. I have never seen a manager display less situational awareness. You need to, arguably the best player was in parentheses. Put him up there. Fucking idiot. Legitimately hate this team.
Yankees.
I'm gonna go soccer.
Going Yankees.
I'm gonna go Yankees here as well. So I'm gonna be the tiebreaker here.
Okay.
I won't be holding my breath when the team's leadership is in their own echo chamber, which says the manager is the best qualified candidate we can find in the entire world. We continue to be a shit show.
Soccer.
Ooh. Okay. I sided with Sam on the last one, so I'm gonna go with you, Vince. You said Yankees?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know the answer to these, by the way, so don't think I'm playing favoritism. All right. The manager openly mocking fans is such a vibe. Dude is 10 levels above a narcissist.
Soccer.
Yankees. I think it's Yankees.
Oh God, managers openly mocking fans is such a vibe. Dude is 10 levels above a narcissist. I'm gonna go Yankees on it. Listen, he should absolutely be fired, but managers don't make a big difference unless you get very lucky hit on the handful that do make you play above your talent or hire an idiot manager. It's somewhere in the middle of that, but his time has come to move on.
Soccer.
Yeah.
That's soccer, man. That is.
All right, you ready? Stupid
Yeah.
little bald fuck.
That's soccer.
I don't know. The Yankees manager's bald too.
Yeah,
he?
but
All right, soccer. The team has made me so unhappy for the majority of the last 6 to 7 years.
Yankees. I
Yankees.
think. Yeah.
Okay. Manager apologists are awfully quiet right now. Where do they go? Is there a manager cave or something?
Soccer?
I could go soccer. I'll go soccer.
Okay. This is like when you have a random dad coach the local team. Dude is not a professional coach at all.
That's soccer, I think.
That's soccer? Okay. All right. We're going to go from there, and then there's more, but I'm going to save it for the next week's show. So let's submit. Let's view the score. All right. The first one here. Literally every single thing about this team was great fun / worth watching. That was correct, as in it was the Yankees that posted that.
Yeah, that's
Instead of watching tonight's game, I think I'll just watch some reruns of She-Hulk. That was also the Yankees.
Oh, shit.
The hate against the manager is 100% deserved. The guy doesn't know how to lead. When things are good, he's fine. But when things are bad, they go into a free fall. That was also New York Yankees.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
I've never seen a manager display less situational awareness. Yeah, when we said questionable tactics. Oh, I clicked U.S. Soccer, but then I clicked Yankees on that. Oh, well, we got that wrong, but then I accidentally clicked Yankees, so we got it right. So we're gonna take that point. I won't be holding my breath when this team leadership is on their own echo chamber, which says the manager is the best qualified candidate. That was U.S. Soccer. We got that wrong.
Okay.
Managers openly mocking fans is such a vibe. Dude is 10 levels above a narcissist. We got that correct. That was the Yankees. Listen, he should be absolutely fired, but managers don't make a big difference unless they get very lucky to hit on the handful that do make a difference. We were correct. That was the U.S. Soccer. Stupid little bald fuck. That was the Yankees. We got that wrong. Manager apologists are awfully quiet right now. Where do they go? Is there a manager cave or something? That was the Yankees. We got that wrong.
Okay.
And then this is like when you have a random dad coaching the local team. Dude is not a professional coach at all. That was soccer. So there's a few more. I'm going to save the rest for next week so we can have fun with it. And then Sam, I'll let you. Or did we not have anything else? That was it?
No, that's it.
No, I did not have anything else.
Okay, good. Well, that was part 1 of U.S. Soccer or New York Yankees, as Vince would say. Anything else?
Just a quick update on the U.S. women's national team. They are still attacking, but it's still 0-0.
Costa Rica
they've,
hold their own.
They've never lost or drawn to Costa Rica. Like I said, 17 prior matches, 17-0. So 5 minutes left. We're in stoppage time. So I don't know what happens here, but not the best look. And maybe dropping down to number 5 in the rankings was right if they end up not being able to pull out this win here. So
yeah,
chance to fix it in the Olympics, though, for sure.
Here you go. All right, guys. Well, you guys are listening to the SVT podcast. Subscribe on YouTube and hit the bell to get alerts when we go live. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us on Instagram and Threads at SVT Sports Pod. Slide into our DMs. We would love to interact with all you beautiful people.
Deuces.
Later.
Later.